Assalamualaikum and have a nice day everyone. My name is Amir bin Mazli. Today I will present about article review issues in business ethics. First of all, I will present about meaning of business ethics. What is meaning of business ethics? Business ethics is when a particular action scenario or judgment conflicts with the moral standard of a society. There is an ethical problem since any of their actions could be questioned in terms of ethics. Both people and companies could be implicated in this dispute. This problem can arise in a person's interaction with other people or their interaction with organization, and the same is true for organization. Next, I will explain about definition of ethical issue in business. What is definition ethical issue in business? Ethical issues is when a moral quandary arises must be handled with a cooperation. Ethical problems and work arise. Ethical concerns can influence a lot of company business standard specification. Even though every ethical quandary is different, there are certain similarities. There are inappropriate and inappropriate decisions in every ethical quandary. So, there are many types of ethical issues in business which are unethical accounting, harassment and discrimination, health and safety, technology, social media, and privacy. Therefore, the article that I will emphasize on the issue of ethics in business is harassment of discrimination. So we go to objective review. Objective review yang I will introduce in presentation is the first one is I will analyzing the issues contained in all three articles. After that, I will do some comparison between all three articles, and the last is this case I will do discussions with all this after making analysis and comparison. Next, we move to first objective, which is analysis. I will explain about first article about bully in workplace. Bully is damaged, deliberate behavior that occurs at work. It could be caustic, offensive, mocking, or ominous. It establishes a pattern and usually targets a single or a small of individuals. Targeted practical jokes, deliberate misinformation about work obligations such as inaccurate deadlines or unaccurate instructions, persistent denial of time off requests without a good cause, verbal abuse such as threats and humiliation, excessive performance analysis, and harsh or unfair criticism are a few examples of bullying. In this part of the formulation, I was able to identify the characteristics of a bully at work, like verbal, intimidating, related to work performance, retaliatory, and institutional. Bullying tactics are frequently used over time. This distinguishes it from harassment, which is frequently only occurs once. Although persistent harassment can develop into bullying, harassment is criminal in contrast to bullying since it involves behaviors targeting a protected class of individuals. Next, the second analysis is sexual harassment in workplace. The Sex Discrimination Act 1984 defines the nature and circumstance in which sexual harassment is unlawful. It is also unlawful for a person to be victims for making or proposing to make a complaint of sexual harassment to the Human Rights and Equal Opportunity Commission. Sexual harassment at work is when a boss, manager, employee, client, or customer of a working unit engage in sexually explicit verbal or physical actions and are not welcomed by the person who is being harassed and leaves that person feeling violated, insulted, and as though they are in an intolerably hostile environment. Then I identify the characteristic of a person who performs sexual harassment. For example, unwelcome touching, staring or leering, suggestive comments of jokes, sexually explicit pictures or poster, unwanted invitation to go out on dates, requests for sex, intrusive questions about a person's private life or body, and unnecessary familiarity, such as deliberately brushing up against a person, insults or taunts based on sex, sexually explicit physical contact, and sexually explicit emails or SMS text messages. And the last for analysis, I will explain about religious discrimination in workplace. Religious discrimination is when someone is treated unfairly due to their religious convictions. Religious discrimination at work can take many different forms, such as refusing to promote ethics or hiring a Muslim job applicant because of their religious convictions. Religious discrimination laws shield job candidates and workers from prejudice based on religion in the workplace. Among the examples I found when a person was religious discriminated, which are employment decision based on religion can be illegal. Discriminatory promotion decision can violate the law and is separate of treatment. So we move the second objective, which is comparison. In this part of review, I have studied the source of the section on the issue of ethical statistics in the enterprise in 2021. Therefore, I will explain the comparison between on three issues from the results. First of all, between all three issues, I recognize that percentage of bullying in the workplace is the highest among other issues. The article said that statistics of bullying in the workplace has achieved 82.4% of overall issues in bullying. This is because there is the main reason why bullying issues are the highest. For example, spreading gossip about you to everyone, being given tasks with an unreasonable deadline, and someone withholding information also can affect your performance. Next, for sexual harassment, the article said that 57 of respondents had got sexual harassment in workplace in 2021. After I analyzed this issue, I found that most of those who had sexual harassment in the workplace were women. This is because there is some reason sexual harassment happens because of media, technology and telecommunications, and consulting management. And last but not least, for comparison, religious harassment is also a popular issue of ethics in the workplace. The percentage of religious harassment is 53% issues in their workplace. This is because in the century 21st, many people are more concerned with the worldly than the hereafter. In the workplace, I recognize that some of companies always mistreated their different religious employees. And the last for our objective is discussion. I will offer ideas in discussion section for how to deal with the problem before it spreads throughout nation. First of all, the best way to deal with the issue of workplace bullying is to confront the perpetrator and insist that they stop what they are doing. In addition, you can ask a dependable friend or a union official to accompany you as you approach the target. You can record your journey or happenings in a factual journey during that period. Take a note of the time, date, and specific of what occurred. For instance, for a sexual harassment, I will give you them a warning. For instance, inform the offender that sexual harassment is being committed by his behavior. Oral delivery, writing, emailing, or asking a friend to approach that offender on your behalf can all be used as warning methods. Next, please don't be latent, okay? Which is a very crucial concept to address this issue. You can solve difficulties by yourself. You need to tell your friends, family, or other trustworthy people. And additionally, if the sexual harassment persists or get worse, kindly file a report. The incident might be reported instantly to a manager in charge of human resources or a supervisor. If no action is taken, submit a complaint to the Ministry of Women, Family and Communication Development, or you can report to the police. Last but not least, for our discussion is religious discrimination. We need to show some respect and appreciation for every difference there is for a worker who display a discriminatory attitude based on religion. The next thing you need to understand is that every person has the right to live in a world free from discrimination. Additionally, you should learn about various people, cultures, and language so that you may appreciate how wonderful life is and how safe and inclusive tantrums are. For the last part for our presentation is conclusion. After I do some revision and analysis, I know that the article issues in business, which is harassment and discrimination are very dangerous and popular issues in Malaysia. And for example, is bullying, sexual harassment, and religious discrimination. Another that The other is harassment and discrimination. Bullying in the workplace have very popular issues. I know. The percentage that I got from the data of statistics is 82.4%. So the management, please be aware of the issue before this issue can be more separate, and many employees have used to in their workplace. So that's all for me. Thank you and have a nice day everyone.